Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella with another pick a card reading here for you today. This one is going to be a timeless career reading, so whenever you see it, that is when it is for you. We obviously have 3 piles here, but before I get into that, please do not give your power away to tarot, especially when it comes to, well, all topics, but especially when it comes to career and money. That's something you don't want to mess with. You want to get professional financial advice. Okay, so this is guidance. It's a smorgasbord of information that Spirit is providing, and you have free will to do with that information as you wish. And it's also sometimes just a heads up. Okay, so you can act and change things as time goes on, and time is fluid. So it could be happening now, it could be happening at a later date. And anyone that comes through, their higher self may have good intentions, but they actually have to follow that through. They have free will in the 3D as well. So if you're not already familiar with me, I do mini readings for all signs. So go and watch your sun, moon, rising. They're pretty frequent on this channel. And then I do pick a card readings, collective readings. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link is in the description to my Etsy store below. So with all that being said, this is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. Sorry, I was touching that card as I said it. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Ground yourself. Tune into the kind of energy you want to receive from this. Okay, so what intention are you bringing to this reading? Maybe even pause the video, get comfortable, pop some headphones on. Maybe get a notepad to write anything that comes through, ideas, any suggestions that you might want to look at. We're going to get as deep as possible and then end with some practical advice from Spirit. Let's get into it. Pile number 1, you chose the card number 16, and it is Solar Calm and Clarify. Okay, so I feel like you are in a place where you're just letting, I'm hearing bygones be bygones. That's not what I was going to say, but you're just letting things happen in a way where you know that by being a bit of an observer, you are going to get clarity. You are going to understand things, especially like making complex situations or complex messages simple is really important here. I'm actually going to read from the guidebook for this one because there's actions to be taken. So just appreciate the deep, energizing quiet of this time. Work for steady progress and play the long game. Listen to your muse and support the arts. Take a creative approach and work towards positive change within the systems that are now in place with gentle, steady pressure. Find like minds and grow those deep connections. Listen to the quieter voices that are not usually heard, whether this is the whispering voice of your intuition or the subtle voice of the introverts or underrepresented. Interesting. In romantic relationships, we won't go there. Build relationships now that will help you manifest needed changes when the tide turns and the sun activates. So the challenge here, it is not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. Meditation will help with this. Interesting. So yeah, I feel like there's an overall sense of calm, and I feel strongly that the calm is also related to finding balance with your work-life situation. Finding that balance so that your adrenals are not in a place where, because when we're stressed, we're not making clear decisions. We're not making it easier on ourselves. The 1 and the 6 breaks down to 7, which is no wonder the relationship part came into it. That's talking about relationships, partnerships. In business, it's business partnerships, how you relate to others, foreign affairs, and contracts. But the 7s are also about reflection, assessment, and control. So letting go of what you can't control and kind of giving it to God is, the universe. Let the universe catch you is part of that message there. What does pile number 1 need to know about career and finances at this point in time? What does pile number 1 need to know about career and finances at this time? Yeah, I feel like this could be coming after a period of emotional distress, or in your outside of work life, there could have been some emotional distress, and work's just taking a back seat at this moment, but there is a need to process it. There is a need to come out on top after you fully grieved something, after you fully walked away from something. Yeah, because you realize that you cannot go back to the same routine. There's that adrenals I was talking about. You can't go back to overburdening yourself, overstressing yourself. There's that fog. The moon is showing up to say, sometimes we don't know how to do that fully, but we're going to find out. Can we clarify the Eight of Cups? I'm actually going to use a different deck. Clarify the Eight of Cups. I'm going to take the ones that fell upright. We've got the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there was a decision that needed to be made where you perhaps were in denial about something and how slow something was going and how you weren't being valued in a situation. And you can see that in this Eight of Cups art depiction. It's like two waterfalls on either side. It's like, I need to move all those emotions through the middle. And that's kind of the decision I'm making. You might not be taking the choice, either choice that has been put in front of you, and you might be forging your own path because you realize that once upon a time I had the confidence to know what was best for me. And just because it's, you know, the money might be paused or slowing down for right now, I still know that I want to focus on where my passions lie. I still know that just because I'm hearing Trick Me by Colette. So trick me once and trick me twice. You don't want to be fooled again. Your eyes are going to be wide open as a result of this, whatever's been going on here. If you want to work from home, that's a strong message that seems to be coming up as well. But also that you could be like experiencing a physical glow up as part of the healing process, or the grieving. I mean, grieving it goes through multiple stages of healing. And I feel like one of those is the glow up is going to affect your work. It's going to affect how you are valued at work. And if you're not going to be valued, I think you're going to look in the mirror and realize, like if you own your own business, this is very relevant. But even if you're transitioning, or you've been thinking about transitioning from a job to your own business or a leadership position, you go for it now because of how you see yourself. And that's that clarity that seems to be coming through again. The strength is the realization. The strength is the truth be told. The strength is finding out information. Anything else about this Ace of Swords? Yeah, finding out information that no longer keeps you stuck. That, again, you realize these burdens were either put on you. Someone tried to stop your limitless potential, and you're transforming that belief. It's like, no, that's their belief. That's not actually my belief. I feel like you're about to accomplish a lot here because you've got 8 energy there. You've got 8 energy here. You've got 8 energy there. Yeah, I just feel like you're about to turn something on its head. So instead of it being a cycle that you can't break out of, when you turn an 8 on its side, it's limitless potential. And that's this strength energy. You're taming the beast of letting other people, or letting emotions get in the way of logic in the work or financial realm. And you're actually taking action towards making that a healthier way for you to work moving forward. Clarify the 10 of Wands. Yeah, 8 again. 8 of Wands. Now we're moving into fast-moving, happier 8 of 8s. You've got the Magician card number 1 and Lovers as well. So yeah, if you feel like my family don't get to see me, my partner doesn't get to see me, I don't have a love life, like money isn't going to kiss me goodnight at the end of a long day, you might be deciding to, again, bring more balance into your life, be more social, and manifesting a relationship for yourself, or manifesting a more passionate relationship. It's like, isn't that interesting how when we focus on what we're actually passionate about and what we love to do, what we're called to do, even if you have to learn something new, even if you have to say goodbye to certain old habits, people, places, things, environments, especially if you've been doing it for 10 plus years, some of you have been waiting around to get like long service leave or something like that, and now that you've done it, you could not manage another day. It seems risky, it seems bold of you, But even some of you, if you're allowed to do that, I don't even know if you can, might be taking a long service leave, and then at the end of that, you're like, by the way, I'm not coming back. Yeah, I think you've been manifesting this for a long time. Manifesting work-life balance, seeing yourself in a new light, having others see you in a new light, valuing you more. So if you're asking for a pay raise, you're going to get it because you're looking at who you are. This requires a lot of your action. This isn't something that Spirit's just going to, Spirit's going to allow the healing process, but you eventually have to get back up. Your bounce back ability, and I actually feel like you're bouncing back very strong, physically stronger and emotionally stronger, because your kindness might have been taken for weakness, and now you've shown of course you've demonstrated how strong you are physically, especially if you do physical work, but you've taken on too much. It's almost backbreaking. It's almost like Spirit might put you on your ass with cold, flu, backache, something like that, where you actually cannot get up anymore. But your strength is that you're going to revitalize and realize that our cortisol levels probably put us in that position where we were so overstressed about where we were continuously giving, but where was our cup being filled up? Okay, so engaging in new relationships is actually going to be, and no wonder that was in the guidebook. It was just one sentence that I missed, but loving relationships where what did it say? What does it say? So in romantic relationships, hold hands and look for places of quiet refuge together. Yeah. So your partnerships might be a place where you can heal fully and where you can like let a lot of things go. But it also might be a place where in the quiet, we actually come up with new ideas, and you might start to build something and imagine. That's what's happening here. Imagine if we did this together. Imagine if and the ideas are flowing. It's like putting up a big butcher's paper on the wall with a partner or a bestie and saying, hey, we've always wanted to do this. Why don't we do it now? And just throwing all the ideas out there, really brainstorming everything and seeing, okay, well, where's the match that's going to light that fire? And after the 10 of Wands comes the Ace of Wands. So you've got the Ace of Swords twice, and you've got the Ace of Wands, which was saying something here about a match growing. Where did it say? Yeah, take a creative approach and work towards a positive change with the systems that are now in place with gentle, steady pressure. Yeah, I really love this. It can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Yeah, but it will clear, and it's clearing. It's clearing when you start realizing what's really important here. Okay, clarifying the moon, we have the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, you might need to ask for help from someone else. So if you're working with a partner and you've brainstormed with a partner, it might be, okay, well, we need a third person who's going to do maybe the coin counting, you know. We might need a system, because it talked about systems in that guidebook. We need a system. We don't know what we don't know. We need to ask questions, but what system do we need? So it's getting some advice to make that unknown knowable. You're clarifying everything. And it's interesting because you're clarifying your value, you're clarifying your strength, you're clarifying balance, and you're clarifying then how do I move forward on something that is brand new? How do I bring sunlight and that new positive beginning? And how do I feel really confident about something again? It's like a work situation, a career situation, a financial situation really tried to rob you of your light. One more for the moon and the Three of Pentacles. Or two. Yeah, and this time you know that you are not giving up. You know that any delay that comes forward, anything that exhausts you, it's just not it anymore. Anything that feels too complex, it's just not going to work for you. It's like you're really realizing that you've got enough brain chatter going on. Yeah, especially for my neurospicy people, it's like you've got enough going on in your head. You don't need, and other people do too. So if you simplify like a checkout process, if you simplify your offerings, services, if you simplify like decluttering the office where you work, if you simplify filing, technology, then you're not exhausted doing things you don't need to do. And this is something I say all the freaking time, but this is really about getting the 20% of work done in a simple, get it done once, get it done right, get it done on time way that makes you 80% of the money you need to make in life, because you're just done being like a pincushion for other people, an emotional, I'm hearing bowling ball, okay, for other people as well. Okay, what's the advice here? Orphaned. So there's things you definitely need to let go of, especially where you felt like you were carrying the burden all by yourself. Change is definitely in the wind here. It's for the best, but it's not going to be easy to begin with. Yeah, between worlds. Pretty soon, you're going to realize that you're coming out of that fog. See where it's all gray and then it's becoming amazingly beautiful? That's what's happening here. And it's for your best and highest good. Go the distance, okay? So that's saying, now I will recognize things that are not meant for me. This is also saying that you recognize that you won't get yourself in a stressed position again when it comes to finances. So maybe putting money aside, even though it feels like you've got nothing to put aside, what you know is how to do it now. And so when the money does come in, what's the positive outcome? What's the positive outcome from this situation? What's the positive outcome? We have marriage. So yeah, if there's, you know, we need the money because we're putting it into a wedding, then maybe the business is in the like, what's it, like cultivation stage, like when you're a gestation stage, right? Maybe the business is in a gestation stage while you actually physically get married. And it's like, okay, well, we can't do everything at once, and not needing to, not feeling like you need to anymore. This could also be, there's 3 rings here. So this could also be working with and expressing and cooperating and collaborating with other people. It doesn't necessarily have to be 3 people, but other people who can help make things easier, smoother, and less complex. Yeah, a period of frustration, but you're learning everything that needs to be learned. And interesting that this is like the funnel, because if you are starting your own business, there might be a funnel that people, it's too complex now, but if we make it really easy, people will buy. Diamond, yeah, wow, okay. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift, okay? So the precious gift here is the lesson of how you are moving from one life to another life, and that will pay you forevermore. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Coins, money will be coming to you. That's a beautiful lesson. Like, we're good with that. If it means that we're coming out the other side more confident, valuing ourselves so that others will value us, then we're so ready for that, right? We're so ready for that. Wow, I love this for you, pile 1. What's the advice for pile number 1? Okay, relax. New moon in Cancer. Okay, relax. Letting things just like, it's like I'm choosing not to let certain things get to me anymore. And when I don't, it's funny how they'll just figure themselves out. Okay, interesting. Yeah, leave the past behind. This is a Capricorn card as well, so last quarter moon in Capricorn. So leaving a workaholism kind of behavior or a people-pleasing tendency behind, and attune to the divine with the Pisces energy. So this 8 of Cups is really asking you to leave a lot behind, but so that you can feel those. That's that 8 energy I was talking about. And we're not stuck in a loop where we're feeling completely drained, especially my empaths and my sensitive people, where you're really hard workers and you're really doing the most. Your softness is your superpower, and I think you're realizing that and monetizing that, magnetizing that with the Magician as well, and becoming that, because you're attuning to your calling, you're attuning to that sensitivity. And you're attuning to letting the universe help you. So you take action and the universe aligns, okay? So intention is everything with this group. Intentional action in the direction you actually want to be moving towards. Let's get a motivation manifesto to finish for pile number 1. Can we get a motivation? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, 2. All greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. Ooh. The hero of your own story. Yep. So, you know, watch me. Let them. You know, if people are going to be offended by this, if people are going to realize too late what they've lost in an amazing worker or in an amazing teammate, let them, okay? But you will not lose yourself in this process, and you will not lose love in this process. And in fact, you stand to gain so much more abundance as a result of this transformation. And I think it's actually going to be not as hard as you think to let go, okay? So cord cutting might be important. The let go is physical and mental and emotional, and the gain is spiritual, and the spiritual is going to be the driver to let all those things fall away, okay? Blank slate on physical, blank slate on mental, blank slate on emotional. What's important to me? Go back to the drawing board. We do not need to await more resources. We need to act, and we will find abundance comes to us. So again, there's a push-pull. There's an equal balance here of surrender and of action. So yeah, like I said, attuned, intuitive, aligned action is where you're going with this one. I hope that's been useful. I wish you all the best. Let me know how that resonates in the comments below. If you'd like a more specific reading for your own situation, the link to the personal bookings is in the description box below. But I'm sending you all the best. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Pile number 2, you chose the card number 46. This is the 8th house and mystery. And this is all about your career and finances whenever you are seeing this. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to read from the guidebook on this one. But the 8th house being about mystery, transformation, it's allowing some magic into your life as well. When it comes to finances, this can also deal with using other people's money. So whether that's the bank's money, whether it is getting a family loan, or having investors, angel investors or something like that as well. But you could be dealing with something that's a little bit taboo. You could be, you could even be doing tarot. You could be doing healing, magic of some kind. Some witchy stuff, you know. Let's have a look at card number 46. So this, I want to read this because it details some actions. Assess the power dynamics between you and other people around important resources like sex, money, and inheritances. Notice if a relative or boss withholds money until you behave, or if you or a lover withholds sex until some other need is met. Just get clear in your own mind if anyone is pulling strings and trying to heal dysfunctional dynamics with clear and healthy boundaries. Seduce honestly. Yeah. Not all strange sexual dynamics or unusual financial arrangements are a problem. If you understand your peculiarities and don't feel coerced or controlled by them, they are part of who you are. So it's embracing a touch of darkness here as well. A little bit of the 12th house shadow side stuff coming through. Financial investors and advisors, consultants, ministers, lovers, intuitives, brains trusts, auctioneers, and investigators all work with 8th house affairs, and if they work with integrity, they do so productively. Develop your 2nd house resources, your own money, sense of worth, and body confidence to strengthen your freedom and bargaining power and operate in this realm with grace. Engage the resources handed to you, but make your own judgment calls. The 8th house calls for one last freedom, to acknowledge that death exists and be fully alive in response. So the challenge here is that it can be tempting to manipulate by withholding love, power, or money, and hard to step away when someone else is jerking those chains. Yeah, so it's almost like be the master of your money. Don't let it control you. Be the master of your career. Don't let it control you. Yeah, very, very interesting. It's death and rebirth kind of stuff going on there. Let's get a little bit more information on this. I feel there's a lot of accomplishment in this energy. There's a lot to be accomplished in this energy. Ooh, you've got the Flower of Life and the Hierophant poking out of the deck there. So it's a commitment to the sacred geometry, the things we don't always see on the surface. It's learning more about those nuances. It's learning more about perhaps spiritual business, okay? Bringing spiritual elements into business. How do I monetize something that isn't tangible, okay? Yeah, very interesting stuff. I feel like there's a deep level commitment to something, I want to say precious, but also precarious. It's like it's on the edge. It can go one of two ways here. What does pile number 2 need to know about money and career whenever they find this message? What does pile number 2 need to know? The Lovers. Yeah, if you are doing this with a partner, it could be a business partner. Or if this is something that you and your partner have discussed at length, you've also discussed the possibilities of, okay, well, what if this doesn't work? Or perhaps there's a disagreement between you and your partner about, like, you know, doing this might ostracize you from your partner because they don't fully believe in what you're trying to do. However, with the Wheel of Fortune showing up, it feels like there's a lucky break for you. It feels like there's something that's going to be, I'm hearing globally decided. Wow, that feels election-like. Globally decided. Yeah, I feel like I just needed to get an extra card there. It feels like it's going to be highly beneficial for you. It's going to be highly lucrative for you if you make the decision regardless of who it ostracizes you from. Now, again, this could be with or against your partner. But independently, you're going to come out on top because of the decision to lean into the shadow aspect of this. Lean into the magic of this. Yeah, I think there's actually more people interested in this than your partner knows, or that you perhaps are thinking of just yet. Can we clarify the Lovers? King of Pentacles. Clarify the 5 of Stars. 5 of Wands in reverse. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, cool. And clarify the 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. A lot of wand energy here. You've got the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands in reverse with the Ace of Wands. And the Knight of Wands at the bottom of that deck. Okay, so I feel like your partner might even be the one who is angel investing in you, or is lending you money. Is perhaps, it could go either way. It's like you're giving money to your partner and you're not quite sure how it's going to pan out. So take it however it resonates. I just want to put a couple of options on the board here. Or if someone is coming through to help level you up, I feel like there's a love offer behind this. They're choosing you, but they're choosing you for more reasons than one, okay? And that could be taboo in itself, right? However, I feel like this person is coming through with wisdom. And I feel like this has been a slower process. I'm just tempted to draw a time oracle card, which I don't often use. There's something about slow going here. Why is it been slow going? What's the timing message you have for us here? Yeah, it's been worth waiting for, or it's about to be worth waiting for. For this person to reconcile their feelings about you versus their belief in what you can achieve. Very interesting. I get the sense that this person really wants to see you succeed. So that first option where it was like, I'm either with or against my partner, it still can apply, because this 5 of Pentacles here is really talking about perhaps you've been working at something for so long and you've been waiting for this person to come along, that when they come along, you're like, oh no, you wouldn't be interested in me. But I feel like this person may help even elevate you to a position where you never have to feel left out in the cold again. You never have to feel financially without ever again, because I feel like they're taking, like, helping you to eliminate the competition by putting you exactly where you need to be. World recognition, world, and this is the Wheel of Fortune, and I'm getting world energy just by these two together, actually, of like global domination, world decision making, worldwide decision making. More eyeballs on you, 100%, and there's more people interested in this. But of course, with more fame comes more hate, and that's that weird in between. That's that edge that you have to have a really good attitude about, have a water off a duck's back kind of attitude about. Know that you bring the energy to work, but then you don't have to take it home with you. You take home peace. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you learn to assert yourself well enough that you seize the opportunity, you take on this new beginning, you take on the passions and all the things that you have put in this place where you felt like you were in the cold and you were knitting a blanket to keep yourself warm. So all the very practical things that you were doing. So if I can give you an example, this feels like myself, right? It's like working on YouTube videos to get to a monetization point is a long and lonely process where you're talking to a camera and behind the scenes, there's a lot to set up. You're still trying to grow on social media. You're still perhaps writing, you know, on my Etsy store, I have journaling workbooks. They're all in place, right? All my videos have the format for how I do my videos, even collecting decks, always upskilling, always learning more, always hungry to learn more. And doing that usually alongside, up to about like 2 weeks ago, I had 3 jobs outside of this work. And so it can feel like I'm not getting anywhere. And that's what I feel like is happening with you, or has been happening with you, where you've built so much behind the scenes that is now going to serve you so well because someone has not given you a hand out, okay, like this card was suggesting, but it's a hand up because you already existed as someone so magical. Very, very interesting. I'm so excited to hear how this is going to work out for you, pile number 2. Yeah, I think everything that you've put effort into is going to start to pay off and then some, exponentially, let's say that. Yeah, and I do think then you've got the decision to move. You've got the decision to relocate, perhaps with this King of Pentacles. They feel like they're very settled. They feel like they've got a home, or they've got an office or something like that where you'll be able to do your work from. But you're also biding your time. You're also looking for more opportunities going forward. So instead of being head down, as they say, head down, bum up, and feeling like you're not getting anywhere and feeling like there's an internal battle, or that the universe is angry at you because the rewards haven't been coming through, and when is this ever going to end? This could have been a cycle of 5 years that this has been happening for you. Gosh, as I say that, that's exactly what's happened for me. So interesting. And then this is like, now that I've turned in a new direction, now that I've turned a new leaf, now that I'm profiting, because there's that energy of you need money to make money. I mean, you haven't. You've still produced the essence of what you do. But now you're getting paid for that work that you've done previously. And now you're able to look forward with acting on all the ideas that you actually needed money to execute on. And so there's a lot of like catch-up momentum and then forward progression very quickly here. And no wonder you need this energy. So look after your physical health. Keep a fun, dynamic attitude about this. And keep your rituals, especially if you are, you know, a spiritual, magic, healing soul. Keep up the things that give you release. And also, you know, the intimate release that can come from such a mysterious person or mysterious deliverance of transformation can like really ignite you to a place where now you're thinking differently, because you got the cobwebs out, so to speak. Okay. I think that's just so beautiful. I absolutely adore this. There's a great deal of satisfaction and strength that you knew you were, they're saying like that you ought to possess. You knew you ought to possess this grounded, anchored. They're really wanting to use words like that, where you know thyself and therefore you can act in accordance with all the options that are available to you. You'll be able to spot when one is a snake and one is a ladder, right? And that's that. 5 of Wands in reverse is speaking to me as like ladders to success, ladders to, because what comes after the 5 of Wands is the 6 of Wands, and that's success. That's taking a victory lap, okay? But you'll be able to spot where perhaps you couldn't before, where things would be draining to you and burdensome to you and too much responsibility. And now you're aware and you get more information before you act. Yeah, it's like you're really getting more information. You're really coming at this with fresh eyes, and fresh energy that is so revitalizing to everything else in your life. Interesting. All right. Actually, this card. What? Okay. Yeah, new life. Oh gosh, that is beautiful. Just bursting forth like, yes, this is it. I've been waiting. You've been feeling it. If you're intuitive, you've been feeling this for sure. And you just, that's why you've kept on keeping on. Because you knew that it's almost like your love life and your career or financial life are very entwined. And you knew that I'm not going to lose myself in a relationship again because then I lose my passions. But I'm going to be in a relationship that is a higher level relationship spiritually, that is going to be with someone who really truly believes in me. And when you feel secure like that, that's when you thrive with all this passionate energy. Building blocks. Yeah, you're working towards something really stable, grounded, amazing. Stacking, racking and stacking the coin. There's also a sense of Tetris here, so you know where everything needs to go. That's that pre-planned, pre-ideaed, all the thinking and heavy lifting you've done before. You're now seeing it come to fruition in real life. It's like taking a Sims and turning it into your actual reality. It's really cool. Time to go. So yeah, again, I get the sense that this might put you on new paths, travel-wise or location-wise. And I do think this is going, and if it is travel, it's helping you to engage in more higher education philosophy. It's moving then into the 9th house, okay? It's moving more into cultural understanding of different things and more spirituality. But it's you're on the right path to seeking that. The doors are opening up for you to experience that. And there's that regeneration again, okay? So new life, regeneration. Nothing has gone to waste, okay? It's all compost that is the nutrients that is needed to fully embrace this lucky turn of events, this global turn of events that feels like it's happening here. And you're making the right decisions, because even if you do have to leave certain people, places and things behind, I do feel like, you know, not even if they weren't necessarily holding you back, you know this is your destiny. Can we get some more? What's the positive outcomes moving forward? What's the positive outcomes moving forward for pile number 2? Even Greece might be important here. One more. Thank you. Okay, you could be dealing with someone younger than you in this situation, or it's just helping you to embrace the younger you, where you had this dream and you knew now you could be 46. You know now that this was always meant to come. And yeah, like I said, it's compost. Nothing was for nothing. Finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. Okay, so again, I think you've pre-thought about everything, and you've already crossed T's and dotted I's that you don't even have the contracts for yet. So I think any future problems would have been continuing on the path of feeling isolated, alone, robbing Peter to pay Paul, not having enough finances, and then just falling into that trap of, well, this thing that I've been putting so much effort into that hasn't been paying me is the first thing that needs to go, and I have to go back to the 3 jobs. And that, I fear, is putting you in that overburdened state where you're just not feeling well at all. So the warning of a problem, and also I think this person is wise enough to guide you away from problems. It's not that it's going to be all smooth sailing by any means, but with money and guidance and spiritual intuition, you'll be able to make the right choices moving forward. Pig, beware of greed. Interesting. Okay. And tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. So yeah, that is that Wheel of Fortune kind of energy coming through. That's even the mystery energy coming through. I think the greed is possibly this as well, this 7 of Cups, where you've come from, you know, let's say this, you've come from nothing and you've turned it around completely to be wanting for nothing. That then you could skip the spiritual belief, the work ethic, the ethics in general, the moral compass, and fall too far off that edge, right? Remember, it's a precarious position is what they were saying. And because if you are using other people's money, it could feel easy at times compared to how treacherous it has been, that you could look at all these cups and go, oh, well, I'll have 1 of each, please. But the decision here seems to be more of, well, you get 3 of the 7, or you get, 5 of the 7, whatever it is. But it's also remaining true to the reason you did this, or the reason you started this. All right, let's get some advice for pile number 2. Advice for pile number 2, please. Full moon in Sagittarius, see the bigger picture. Yeah, taking a risk. Travel, adventure, seeking new heights, expanding on your existing portfolio, expanding on your existing knowledge, having a sense of freedom. And I can't be tied down, but what I'm building is something that I can come home to. So that balance between worlds of a traveling life, but having a beautiful base to come home to as well. Wow, another Sagittarius card. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius. The tiger's eye in this image is getting my attention. So luck and confidence, even like your root chakra. I trust in the goodness of life to carry me through. Your sacral chakra very much so is coming through with the mystery and the lover's energy here. So I receive pleasure and abundance with every breath that I take. But this is about gratitude. Practice gratitude, okay? And that's going to help you beware of greed. That's going to help you overcome any desire to be greedy. So look, there's again, a balance is a fine line. You treat yourself because of how hard you've worked, and this feels overdue, the abundance that's coming. But you also know, in order to protect for the future, I know just as quickly as I can gain something, I can lose it. So this time, okay, because I feel like you've had wins in the future, in the past, but it hasn't been quite like you're about to receive now. This is quite substantial. Impressive is the word coming through. Unexpected, 100%. I mean, now you've had some warning. So forethought is going to be, maybe dream about this, maybe journal on this, maybe imagine, right? Write down everything what's the best that could happen here? What's the most exciting thing? Even if it does ruffle some feathers, what's the most exciting thing that could happen here? But you're also willing to treat yourself and to live a good life. And I want to say live a rich life, because that's something I say a lot in my own life. I want a rich life because it's rich in health, wellness, abundance of love, family, a lover, you know, animals, plants, nature, good food. And then how do I serve others with that? How do I help others to have that kind of richness in their life? A deep spiritual connection, a knowingness within themselves. Okay, let's get a motivation manifesto card for you, and we'll wrap this reading up. Wow. With love's transcendent power, we can be reborn and redirected. When we open to love, life itself can feel newer, more alive, more magical, and more meaningful. I have chills. Pile number 2. Like, I want this. I think this one was for me. If it was for you, please let me know how it resonates in the comments below. Even if you want to come back and let me know, because what a cool story. I'm sending you so much love and luck. You've got it in abundance. Everything's going to pay off. It's all going to be okay. Definitely go and ground yourself after this one. Stay positive. Look after your beautiful selves. If you'd like to book a personal reading for a more specific look at this, you can do so in the description box below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, you chose card number 21, Venus and Beloved, and this is your career reading for whenever you find this message, career and financial. I am going to read from the guidebook about this one, but Venus is amazing. It's talking about love and money, so beautiful. Maybe you were even drawn to pile number 2 because there was a bit of that in there as well. So I feel also that there's like cycles of abundance coming, cycles of, or you've waited, especially with the 21 and breaking down to a 3, you've waited for the growth. You've been growing something for a long time. You've been busy, but the fruits are here. This imagery is very like, you know, the beginning of Game of Thrones. So there's like, you've been building whole ass legacies. What are they called? Like whole empires here. I feel also that you're very protected with that outer layer protecting actual Venus there. But the pomegranates, and it's just that Empress energy of something being so rich and abundant and private, but honored, nurtured. It's like you nurtured something that is now nurturing you. All right, so there's action steps in this. This is why I want to read it. Soften, charm, open the heart. Investigate how you can make the situation more beautiful, more fair and lovely. Remember this Venusian truth. People are fascinated by those who find them fascinating. That's true. Use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. Yes, I'm getting chills. That's exactly what I was just feeling like. What you've nurtured is now nurturing you. Engage creativity, generosity, and affection. Venus calls you to your heart, to romance, sings to you as a creative muse, asks you what you value, what you want enough to get yourself in trouble. Ooh, come to know your heart. Know what you're passionate about, and when you stir other people's passions, when your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, or creativity. All become medicine for your soul, heart. When your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, or creativity, all becoming medicine for your sore heart. Pull out the art supplies and paint how you feel. Rescue a puppy. Help a person who needs love and kindness even more than you do. So the challenge here is that emotions run strong and passions are intense. Be wary of crimes of passion, love addiction, or looking for love in material things. If you're fascinated by the superficial aspects of Venus, you can get caught up in appearances or become blind in love. Look deeper. Interesting. I do feel like that, there's too much honey and the sweetness becomes like sickly. Okay, but if you I hate to use this word, but if you add milk, I was going to say water it down, but if you add milk, it's palatable. Milk and honey, right? Which is a card from this other deck that I'm about to use. But let's have a look at more on this when it comes to career and finances. whenever they see it, pile number 3. What does pile number 3 need to know about career and finances? Thank you. You have the 5 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the 6 of Crystals, which is swords in this situation, and the 7 of Swords, which is Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Crystals, which is the Page of Swords. Wow, you're wielding like a firestorm. You're wielding a tornado of curiosity within and around you. So what you've been curious about is now curious about you. What you have let go of has left you alone, so that what is really truly for you, this 2 of Cups behind the 3 of Cups, like when you turn around, you finish grieving, you turn around, you realize there's soulmate energy here, there's soul connection, soul family, soul clients, a job that is for you. So if you have been let off, like prior to all of this happening, remember time is fluid, prior to all this happening, if you had a truth, a recognition about something, or you got curious about, you know, perhaps starting your own business or moving to a different position or a different job, and maybe your job found out and let you go, this is a blessing in disguise. Because I feel like what you're moving towards is something so abundant in emotional fulfillment and in mental fulfillment of like, it doesn't disrupt your peace. It doesn't cause conflict and chaos anymore. It definitely doesn't cause heartache anymore. And it's somewhere where you feel free to grow a vegetable garden, where you, quite honestly, like it's where you feel free to fall in to the maintenance of this position, of this happiness, where you are happy to get up every day and stick to a routine, because now you're in a much more clear, much more safe and emotionally fulfilling space where you love what you do, you love who you do it with, and that's that 3 energy. You get to grow it now because you're fully an expression of your highest self. You're fully an expression of what you're meant to be doing in this life. Clarify the 5 of Cups. Wow. 5 of Cups clarified by the 5 of Pentacles is definitely that state of feeling like you've been left out in the cold, feeling like, you know, someone conspired against you, feeling like, when am I ever going to get the keys to the castle? Even fearing change because there's so much conflict and instability around you, fearing that you'll never get to express yourself and that you'll never get to experience the sanctuary of love. And what is life? What are material things without love? What is a roof over our heads without love? It's just 4 walls, you know. And then clarifying the 10 of Cups, you've got the 3 of Pentacles. Clarify the 6 of Swords. High Priestess. Clarifying the 7 of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Yeah, you are able to nourish all your ideas, it's like very much a vegetable garden is probably the best way to describe it. Queen of Pentacles, yeah. So even like this is like more of a homely energy. This is more of a grounded energy. This is doing less but making more money because you're unbothered now. You're unbothered by feeling emotionally drained, by feeling financially drained. This could be cutting out huge travel time to get to work. It could be cutting out unnecessary meetings. Like a lot of things where you have like given so much of yourself have been absolutely not needed, have absolutely not added anything to your growth. And it can feel like a huge loss of like a waste of time. But I do feel like this is something where the change that's happening for you is leading you to express that, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. How about we do it this way? Look, 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. 2 of Wands. You're asserting yourself with a sense of quiet knowing, but it's making sure it's like perhaps you go under the radar a lot, and at times you feel unseen, unheard, and that's really depressing, okay? That's really sad. It's really unmotivating. But there's a blessing in that too, in that you could stand up for yourself and say, oh, I just want to do 4 days now instead of 6. I want to do 4-hour days instead of 9. Whatever it is, you're changing something up that brings you so much more joy, that actually allows for you to do the things and be the person who then has, look at all these options. That is such a beautiful 9 of Cups, to be completely honest. Like, you're grounded, you're growing, you're flourishing, you're emotionally serene. And that attracts to you serene, like birds and bees. Like, honestly, it allows things to grow because no one's forcing anything. No one's over trimming the plants. No one's asking too much of you. I'm still curious about what you've been curious about specifically. What has pile number 3 been curious about? More wealth. How do I create more wealth? Maybe multiple income streams is what you've been focused on with the 3 of Pentacles here. I don't actually feel like it's more people involved. I just feel like it's, unless it's family, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Yes. What else has pile number 3 been curious about to bring about this change? Problems to be resolved. Yeah, I'm just not making bank. Unsuccessful plans. Yeah, things I didn't need to do. Like, that was a waste of time. You put a knot in my plans. The plan was to have this beautiful life, and that's what's pushed you into making some decisions or things that have almost been out of your control. But I feel like you researched something and then you spoke up about something, and I think you feel more and more confident as time goes on it's like this paddling, right? More and more confident as time goes on to keep paddling towards greater and greater peace, because you're realizing what that brings. That message of peace has subtly been throughout all of the piles so far, but like obviously accumulated in this reading. I think you are changes in your life moon. I think you're very sensitive, emotive, possibly creative, very nurturing of others. It feels like the home, like even if it's like you've had a baby, okay, and in this season of your life you feel so full and fantastic that you don't have to be someone's little bitch, do you know what I mean, at work. And so you've got this piece of not worrying about work, but in that piece you actually find that you love tending to the garden, whatever the garden is to you. But then you start pickling the produce, then you start selling the produce from, you know, the front porch, then you start putting it online, then you you know, join a community group in your local community where people start learning from you, and then they start giving you resources to create more resources with, to create more money with. Like, people are generous with you right now, or they're about to be. Younger man, dealings or relationship with a younger man. Take those ones with a grain of salt. That could be a child, that could be yeah, vine. So it's like a vineyard. It's really like something's growing here, but seeking out information that will help you, right? And this card always reminds me of like a strangler fig that takes over the host tree, and then the host tree becomes hollow on the inside, and the vine is the thing that's strongest. So I feel like the host tree for you was never meant to be the thing that was going to, like, that you were meant to do forever. I actually think the truth here is that there's been a long-held dream of yours since you were a child, or the child that you've had has brought with it such clarity that you can make, I'm hearing, honestly, millions. You can make millions from. One more. What is this about? What is this about? I shit you not. Oh my gosh. Okay, carrot. Right, you're pulling out of the garden so much produce. This is an opportunity or windfall. Something is a blessing, and I don't think it's that high in disguise. I don't think it's that far in disguise that it's unrecognizable. I think it's helping you to see the truth that you had within you all along. It's like all the ideas that you've ever had or had dreams about. It's interesting that in that book, they mentioned that in that guidebook, they were mentioning too much material things, like an obsession with material things. That's the challenge here, but I actually don't think that that's going to be too much of a problem because, I mean, more money, more problems, sure. How to ground it, how to keep it, I'm hearing diversified, but also how to keep it perhaps private, especially if you are on some kind of platform, community-wise, it seems to be coming up, not so much tech-wise, but community-wise, you're on some kind of like pedestal. I think you're getting a lot of praise, but there's a need to protect your privacy behind closed doors. So yes, it's amazing and that could be the challenge, right? It could be an ego boost sometimes to be loved in such a way and adored and honored in such a way. What's the advice here for pile number 3? Observer. Yeah, you're no longer observing the other people living your dream life. This could be, I don't know how to describe it other than like quiet influencer. Like quiet influence energy. You're no longer just looking at people who are living your dream life. You're actually living it. Yin here. Okay, so yeah, divine feminine energy coming through. Partnerships, duality, balance, material possessions, your physical body, and yeah, assets. And it really does feel like home in that. Your body being the home and the temple, but then your home where you nest and where you reap the benefits of all the loving energy that you have to put into things. I think this is like real homemaker, homesteading kind of vibes. And I mean that in such a beautiful way. So loyal heart in reverse. What's that got to do with? By the book, building blocks. By the book suddenly feels religious. Okay, so if there's a religious energy here of building blocks. Why loyal heart in reverse? Oh, because you were so loyal to something that wasn't loyal to you, but now when you're loyal to yourself and honoring your physical body and what you can create. So if the womb isn't creating a child, it's creating a project. It's a creative project. Queen of Cups, even High Priestess energy here. You're loyal to that. You're only loyal to that which is loyal to you now, which is daring, but great. Interesting. And pile number 2, I'm pretty sure got new life as well. And building blocks. But this is like, some things are going to be exactly how you planned them, and some things are going to be so much like the dreams you used to have that it's like deja vu scary, like it's serendipitously scary. Okay, can we get some advice on this situation for pile number 3? Advice on this situation for pile number 3. New Moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positives. Yeah, so a blessing in disguise, but I think you were already looking for solutions. What's the advice? New Moon in Leo, shine. Yeah, and embracing all the beautiful aspects of, regardless of your gender, of feminine energy. Creativity, nurturing, softness, your sensitivity is your superpower, that inner knowing. Your intuition is getting you exactly where you need to be. Even forgiveness, exactly. Let bygones be bygones, letting things go. Even things that you don't have closure on, as I put that over the moon. Even things that don't make sense. Yeah. Interesting. Full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. I'm interested in those last 2 cards, actually. Watery energy over here, fiery energy over here. I'll just quickly clarify that. What's with the forgive and the breathe through the tension? Okay, 3 of Swords. Because it's feeling like I wasted so much time. It's like it hurts your heart that this has taken so long. Or it hurts your heart that you were so undernourished and undervalued as a human being in your, like, what you had to bring to the table. It's such a striking difference. Yeah, that someone wants to, that life wants to romanticize you all of a sudden. Why all of a sudden? Why is that even coming about? I'm still stumped on that a little bit. It's like just when you were about to give up, you said no. You didn't even need to assert yourself with huge justification or to be a bitch or anything like that. You just simply said no. And it let so much go. Wow. Yes, it let so much go. And that's when that Ace of Swords, the Page of Swords, comes in. Where you actually go, truth is, I don't want this. Truth is, I'm just going to walk away. Truth is, Ace of Swords, there it is. Truth is, I'm going to cut this off. And I'm only going to care about, love on, dream about, put effort into, work on the things that are important to me. And very much so if you felt like society was forcing you into a certain, I hear trap, okay? Forcing you into a certain state or way of life that you were just totally not for. That's why quiet influencer seems to be the way that this is going. Yeah, this is exactly where you need to be. This is putting you on so many right paths. I also feel like you're quite an inspiration and may help you travel, okay? That might be where the technology comes in. It might help you travel. This message gets around, or you physically travel, but you come back. And it just feels like right path, right time, right person, right place, right community. Let's get a motivation manifesto card for you, pile number 3. You are very protected in doing this. It's like it's almost unstoppable. The joyous masters know that amid all the chaos and conflict, all the hurry and wickedness of the world, yeah, there's something very poetic about this. What do you call it? Like a biblical story about this, like, and that Game of Thrones energy, this big, passionate war and peace. Yeah, okay. Amid all the chaos and conflict, all the hurry and wickedness of the world, there is something solid within that is beautiful, steady, and good. Solid within that is steady and good. Solid within. That's you. You are steady and good. And therefore, now you're only putting your energy, effort, work, money into other things that are solid and good. And it perpetuates more of that. What we think about, we bring about. That's probably the most succinct way to address this entire reading. One more for pile number 3 and we'll wrap it up. If this is resonating, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, 2 more. And if you would like a more specific example of this for yourself, you can book a private reading in the link in the description. Life's greatest victories are won on the fields of love. 100%. You can't deny that doing what you love with the people you love for loving yourself is going to bring you success. This day is to be enjoyed like a pause at a cool stream during summer's heat. And you are so grateful for that, right? Focus on the positives, shine, breathe through the tensions. Like, there is so much joy coming out of this. And what I feel like it's going to impact the world in a subtly seductive way with Venus here. Subtly seductive way. It's a, wow, this lifestyle is something that a lot of people actually really want. And you're like this leader for that. Yeah, beautiful energy. I'm so intrigued, so intrigued. I haven't had a reading like that in a while. Please do ground yourself before you get to this energy. I'm hearing homeschooling as well. So homesteading, homeschooling, homemaker, with the whole family involved. Maybe even it's like got an Amish tinge to it, but I feel like it's very productive. It's very, I'm hearing honest as well. Lots of channeled messages coming through, but it's actually making you really good coin. Okay. It's making you the kind of money that can help you maintain a lifestyle like this without going back to the boundaries, like breaking out of the bounds where you're undernourished and undervalued. So that takes money, doesn't it? To be able to live a simple, beautiful life. It's a seductive truth that more people are very drawn to. So they're almost going to be learning from you with that Empress energy showing up. So I hope this is useful. Take good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe for more, of course. I haven't said that enough. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.